Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be making Saag Paneer, or also known as Palak Paneer. Saag means mixed greens of any kind, and the Palak Paneer means only spinach. Paneer is the Indian word for cottage cheese, so that stays the same, but you could also substitute it with tofu or whatever else you would want to sub it with. This is going to be an Instant Pot, and then at the end I can show you the way you can also do it stovetop. All right, what you're gonna need for this is going to be some olive oil, ghee, or any butter that you use. I keep a little water on hand for deglazing when I do it in the Instant Pot, as well as greens. I use the Power Greens from Costco. You can use anything. You could do spinach, you can do mustard greens, whatever you would like. Some onion chopped up. You've got ginger garlic chopped up, a cup of water. You're gonna want your paneer. You could easily also, I would say, do this with tofu and just replace the paneer. You're gonna need some spices. So you're gonna need the salt, turmeric, the chilies, or Kashmiri chili. Also need some ground cumin powder, and then you're gonna need some garam masala as well. Okay, a few things after these spices. You're going to need your Instant Pot, as well as something to stir, and you're also going to need your Immersion Blender. So you're going to need those two handy, and then we can go ahead and get started. Okay, first step is going to be to turn on your Instant Pot to saute, add a little bit of oil, and as soon as that comes up on your display saying hot, we're going to add in some cumin seeds. Okay, so now my Instant Pot does display hot, so I'm going to add in the cumin seeds to get them started sizzling, and then we will be adding in the diced onion. Now, I just stuck the onions in. They're just getting started on the getting translucent, and as well as a little bit caramel. You can now add in your ginger and garlic, and then if you want a chili to have a little bit spicier, by all means, chop one up, stick it in there. It doesn't matter how rough you have chopped these things, because we're going to immersion blend later, so it's going to make everything smooth. So I kind of have mine in a kind of a rough, just real quick chop, so that it's going to get in there, and we'll blend it up later. Okay, so I've added the ginger and garlic, and it's just going to keep stirring until it starts to caramelize a little bit more. You can add in a chili as well. At this point, my kids don't want it super spicy, so we tend to add more stuff at the end. We slice them up, and then they can have them with their dinner if they want. Okay, so now these have gotten a little bit more caramelized, so we can go ahead and add in a little bit of water, and that will help it deglaze. So just a little bit more. All right, we're going to add some salt, some garam masala, turmeric, cumin, some chili, and we will be good to go. Add a little bit of water, and then that way you can stir it all up. And then we're going to let these spices mix in here for a little while. There is no tomato in my recipe and no other dairy besides the paneer. So just let that cook for a moment, and then we're going to gather up our greens. All right, so we just added the spices to the onion. We're going to do the water and the spinach greens next. So add in your cup of water, and then greens, you can use any greens that you want. I use the Costco Power Greens because then my kids get all the extra vitamins of different kinds of greens. So this is the one we have. You can use straight up spinach, you could use straight up mustard greens. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so I've added the water. My greens are up next, so I just give it a stir so I can get everything off of the sides. Make sure your Instant Pot is in the off mode for the time being. All right, so then I stir it up. Now the greens are gonna go in. Okay, so I've added my greens in here, and I give it a nice quick stir to kind of get it down in, get it covered so it starts to wilt a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and seal it up. So put this sealed, and then just do it for about 1 to 2 minutes. It's just going to wilt the leaves and kind of blend everything up a little bit for you. Okay, so this is in for 2 minutes. While this is going on, I go ahead and start cutting up my paneer to get ready to put it in after I've blended the stuff, which we'll get to next. And then I also start getting the rice ready to do while it is cooking out. I usually do it on the grill, so it's being done as well. So I just kind of prep everything else so that when this is done, it'll be nice and steaming hot for dinner. Okay, so we're gonna let that pressurize for 2 minutes and let it come down naturally. And then we're gonna go ahead and open it up. But before we do that, in the middle of me making this, I completely dropped and smashed my masala dabba or spice bowl. So this is what I'm dealing with. It was all over the floor. So very nicely, I am covered in turmeric and have been sneezing nonstop because of the red chili powder. Anywho, moving on, we are going to open up the Instant Pot. And we're gonna go ahead and stir. First, we're going to add in a spoon of the ghee. And you're gonna want to get out your Immersion Blender. Okay, so the Instant Pot is turned off completely and I have taken the lid off. I also have my Immersion Blender ready to go. This is what mine looked like right now. You can see that it's wilted down. You can see some of the spices. I did drop the ghee in there. So now we're gonna go ahead and get your Immersion Blender and start blending that. And then when it's done, we'll do a little taste test. All right, so once you have that blended down, nice and smooth, into a nice paste, then you're gonna go ahead, and I usually do a quick taste test before I add the paneer, just to make sure I have it down right. Typically, I've gotten pretty good at knowing right away, but sometimes you might want, the greens can be a little bit stronger or more earthier, so you're gonna wanna add in, I usually always add in spices before I add in salt. That's really good. All right, so if you do need to add anything, I usually start with spice, and I usually just do a tiny bit of garam masala and then slowly add in salt, because sometimes that just makes it pop, and sometimes it's even just a little spoon of ghee. But again, it's to your family and your taste. So, give it one last whirl. All right, so then I go in and add in the paneer that I've already cut up, or tofu, or whatever you're using. So I add that in. Quick stir to coat it. And then I just do it once quick over for about a minute or so in under pressure. So then I would go ahead, give this a nice stir, and then we're gonna add the lid and pressure it for 1 minute. All right, so after the 2 minutes, I let it fall naturally. Then I open it and I will give it a quick stir. And then obviously you can serve it up with rice or naan. So I'm interested to see if you've tried it, and then let me know what you think. Thank you.